From the video store on the ocean floor, it's Dread Diver Radio. On today's trimmed down episode, I'm going to focus on horror headlines. A few interesting things were announced that I want to discuss. Oh, and if you stay until the end, you can hear my crazy pitch for a sequel to a crazy cult classic from 1988. Everything's crazy. So drop an anchor and stay a while. Here we go. Ah yes, Dread Diver Radio Episode 4. I know you've all been anxiously waiting, but if you haven't, how dare you? If you're new to the podcast or my YouTube channel, I like to go off on tangents. Some, like my team of doctors, say it's because of a traumatic playground-related brain injury I sustained at age 9 after taking a dare from my buddy Matt to try to stop a spinning metal merry-go-round with nothing but my forehead. But I think that I just have a naturally inquisitive mind that likes to explore all the mental paths and cerebral possibilities that stem from any given topic. Like, for instance, Freddy Krueger. He's a favorite topic of mine. Let's discuss his outfit for a minute. Now, big horror fans probably already know that Wes Craven designed Freddy's look, in part based on a creepy vagrant that he saw outside his bedroom window in Ohio when he was a kid. At least the hat, the basic silhouette, I think. But I've heard him say that the green and red sweater came from an article he read about the functions of the human eye, and that red and green are the two hardest colors for the eye to perceive next to each other, and that physiological reality causes some low-level stress to the brain. But is that true? If so, why does every poster for every damn Christmas movie have a red and green color theme? Aren't those posters supposed to give you a warm fuzzy? I mean, just look at the Hallmark Channel in December. Did Wes Craven ever make a Christmas movie? Wait, Serpent and the Rainbow. No, that's not right. Some wackos say that the first two Scream movies are Christmas movies because they were released in December. But those people are wackos. There was that weird Christmas ad for the Dream Master VHS release.
It's a Merry Media Home Entertainment Christmas celebration. And my little video elves at Media tell me they've got a heartwarming...
Oh, wait, reindeer breath. Your history. Nightmare 4 hits video this December, and you know what that means? It means the Christmas party this year is at my house. That's right, kiddies. My first 3 Nightmares on video sold over 500,000 units nationwide. Now, Freddy's back with the ultimate holiday party tape. But hey, what's a party without some tunes?
Play the Fat Boys' Are You Ready for Freddy over the pool party scene from part 2. That song was featured on their album Coming Back Hard Again and over the end credits in Nightmare 4 in 1988. Did you guys know that the Fat Boys starred in a movie? It's true. Well, maybe you already knew that, but the year before that musical masterpiece was released, they shared top billing in a movie called Disorderlies. Get it? Like orderlies, but not so good. Anyway, in the movie, they play inept medical professionals who are hired by an infirmed elderly millionaire's crooked nephew in hopes that they could hasten his demise and yield the nephew the inheritance. Hilarious. The movie also starred Ralph Bellamy as the rich old guy, who, with the help of the Fat Boys, turns the tables on his no-good nephew by the end of the movie. We could all use a little help from the Fat Boys from time to time, am I right? Bellamy worked on a couple of horror movies, including The Wolfman in 1941, and even Rosemary's Baby in '68.
Come with us quietly, Rosemary. Don't argue or make a scene. Because if you say anything more about witches or witchcraft, we'll be forced to take you to a mental hospital.
but he might be best known for his role as Randolph Duke in 1983's Trading Places. Now, I'm sure you have all seen that, but for those who haven't, it's a hilarious send-up of 80s greed and classism, starring Dan Aykroyd, the Scream Queen, Jamie Lee Curtis, and a young Eddie Murphy in his second film role after 48 Hours in '82. The movie made Murphy a big star and catapulted his career, which soared until the mid-90s, when it started to wane a little bit. Around 1995, Murphy produced and co-wrote a supernatural comedy, which he hoped would breathe some new life into his career. He called the movie Vampire in Brooklyn. When looking for a director, Murphy landed on someone whose past horror films he had admired. Director of Last House on the Left and The People Under the Stairs, Wes Craven. Wait, Vampire in Brooklyn isn't a Christmas movie, is it? See, that was fun. We did a little loop there. After that pointless diatribe, let's get right into horror headlines. So, this from BloodyDisgusting.com. It says, "The naughty will be punished in Cineverse and Bloody Disgusting's upcoming Silent Night, Deadly Night, a brand new vision for the fan-favorite slasher franchise from the 1980s. Bloody Disgusting can exclusively report, well, sure, it's their movie, this afternoon that Rohan Campbell, who memorably played Corey Cunningham in David Gordon Green's Halloween Ends, has been cast in the iconic role of Billy Chapman for our upcoming reboot." All right, let's get into this. Now look, I get a kick out of Silent Night, Deadly Night as much as the next guy. As a franchise, it was pretty hit or miss. They made 5 of these. The original came out in 1984, and Part 2 followed in 1987. Horror fans, of course, know it from this famous line rating.
Garbage Day!
Then from 89 to 91, we got Part 3, Better Watch Out, Part 4, Initiation, and Part 5, The Toy Maker, a collection of pretty wacky sequels to a fairly simple initial film that just focused on a psychotic killer dressed as Santa who goes on a Christmas-time killing spree. Part 4 focuses on a Lilith-worshipping cult, and by the time 5 comes around, we see a completely unrelated story about a toy store owner who makes toys that kill people. And he's played by Mickey Rooney. Some people love the more out there sequels, and some hate them. I'm just pointing out here that the series had a very odd run. And the movie has already been remade once in 2012, just called Silent Night.
Christmas Eve is the scariest damn night of the year.
I'm not sure if this one was seen by many. Calling it a remake is a bit of a stretch. It has a killer Santa, though, so good enough for me, I guess. Now let's talk about this casting announcement. Rohan Campbell. Now, I've got nothing against Campbell. He's probably a very nice hombre, and he was kind of mildly entertaining as a wannabe Joey Ramone in The Monkey from earlier this year, and he's done other stuff, most of which I haven't seen. But Halloween Ends. He plays Corey in Halloween Ends. How am I supposed to forget about that bullshit when he pops up on screen to inhabit a character from another threadbare slasher franchise? That character and that storyline have left a permanent scar on my cerebrum after straining my brain for 2 hours trying to imagine why in the hell anyone thought that the story for Halloween Ends was a good idea. Okay, but I do see a silver lining here. The press release goes on to say, a reimagining of director Charles E. Sellier Jr.'s original 1984 classic slasher, Silent Night, Deadly Night, centers on a young boy who witnesses the murder of his parents at the hands of a man dressed as Santa, only to grow up and become a killer himself. Haunted by trauma and fueled by a twisted sense of justice, he puts on a Santa suit and punishes the naughty. Well, it looks like this remake will actually be a remake, because from that synopsis, it sounds like the plot pretty much follows the original film. Is that a good thing? Don't know, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. This is supposed to come out this December, and I'm sure Cineverse is looking for another Yuletide horror hit after a pretty successful theatrical run for Terrifier 3 last year. I guess we'll see. I might need to huff a lot of carburetor cleaner between now and then to get Rohan Campbell's Halloween Ends performance out of my head. No big deal. I was probably gonna do that anyway. Oh hey, I forgot he was in that silly Sabrina Carpenter video where she and Jenna Ortega try to kill each other and then end up making out at the end. I don't really go in for that song so much, but the video is kind of good, gory fun, I guess. Why do those two chicks look like 12-year-olds playing dress-up to me? Is it because I'm 100? It is. I know. Let's move on. Now, this just hit my eyeballs. Ryan Gosling supposedly is on board to produce a Killer Klowns from Outer Space remake for Amazon MGM Studios. Okay. This comes from Jeff Snyder at The InSnyder. InSnyder, I get it. Do we believe this? Jeff Schneider has never led me astray before, mostly because this is the first I've ever heard of him, but I will say that the part of his article that covers this on his site is behind a paywall, and I'm not paying for that because I'm so broke I can't even pay attention. A lot of other sites are covering this though, so here's the gist. Schneider says that the Chiodo brothers are expected to be involved in some kind of producing capacity. That could mean almost anything, from they're heavily involved with creative decisions to they threw them a little bit of money to slap their name on it and go away. Ah well, at least they got mentioned in the article. Apparently Gosling's production company has a 3-year first look deal with Amazon MGM, and they say he's a fan of Killer Klowns. Who knew? Amazon became the rights holder of this franchise when they bought out MGM in 2022. I know that there have been several attempts to get another entry in this franchise off the ground, going back years. The Chiodo brothers have discussed possible sequels and even a television show, but nothing is manifested. I'm very curious to see if they can actually make this work. A lot of younger generations are aware of it through the costumes and merchandising that seems to remain steadily popular. And I guess the video games sold decently, at least initially. So there could be an audience. I'm guessing that they're going to go straight to streaming with this, so Amazon MGM doesn't really have that much to lose. If it is in fact a remake, that's kind of a bad idea though. I think part of what fans of the original like about Killer Klowns is the late 80s low-budget charm. If they try to polish it up too much, it's definitely going to lose something. I've got a pitch. This might be a little controversial. Ryan Gosling and team, are you listening? Do a straight sequel to the original. Lean into the campiness, but play the human characters fairly straight. The new film takes place just 1 year after the original story. Bring back all the actors that are still alive, and even though they're 37 years older, have them play their characters 1 year later. Not any computer de-aging bullshit either, just hair, makeup, and wardrobe. So it's 1989, and in the aftermath of the first clown attack, they realize that the invaders left a little present for the people of Earth. A world-destroying doomsday device. They figure out that the only way to stop the total obliteration of the planet is to have them beam up to the Killer Klowns' own planet to find a way to stop it. Oh yeah, and just one more thing. When they enter the clown solar system, everything turns to stop-motion animation. and we see the crazy circus-themed clown world kind of like an Aardman acid trip fever dream. Now, I get it, that might sound a little crazy, but how do you top the craziness of the original? It's not so out there as you might think either. There have been a few recent stop-motion movies produced exclusively for streaming, including Santa Inc., starring Seth Rogen for HBO Max, and another Christmas-themed one for Netflix called Alien Xmas. Oh yeah, who directed that one again? Steven Chiodo. That's right, one of the Chiodo brothers made a stop-motion Netflix film less than 5 years ago. All the pieces fit. Gosling, get it made. All I ask is $500 large up front and an 8% back-end deal. Call me. Well, that was fun. By the time this is posted, my new Maniac Deep Dive video should already be up on YouTube. So look for that. It's fun, and you get to look at pictures of Carolyn Monroe. So who wouldn't want that? Plus, you might learn something about New York's 70s slimy cinematic underbelly, which is part of our collective movie heritage. Well, now I kind of made it sound like homework. It's fun, I promise. Watch it. And look, I know I've been saying Chiodo Brothers when it's actually probably Kyoto. Carburetor cleaner can really do a number on a guy. What can I say? Dread Diver out.